What's our top gaming picks for 2023?
And what do we think are going to be the worst?
Well, let us tell you.
Welcome to the Nerd News Podcast, starring Tyson Cox and Tyler Waltz.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nerd News. My name is Tyler Waltz, and with me, as always,
Tyson Cox.
and welcome to our most anticipated video games episode.
Yeah.
Tyson, you're going to go first with one that was out of the blue I didn't know about until a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
But now incredibly excited.
I'm excited. I'm going to give a quick shout out to there's going to be a lot of really good games coming out. So I do want to give a shout out. Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. Digimon World looks like it's going to be really promising. Spider-Man 2. There's a lot of really good games this year. A lot of big gaming year.
Yeah, we can't talk about all of them. Our goal is to just kind of highlight two or three that we are kind of niche excited for.
And there's one that I think is going to change the game, baby.
I hope so.
I have yet to see any like gameplay, but like all the mechanics that they're trying to introduce and the graphics look really good and the concept is amazing. It is called Pal World.
Pal World.
If you don't know what that is, it's also known as Pokemon with guns.
Yeah, yeah. I did not know about this until you made me watch a trailer right before this episode.
I was so surprised you hadn't heard of it.
I know, right? It looks so good. I don't care.
Even if it was just a like good game, like the amount of like it looked real smooth.
Yeah.
It had a lot of really interesting mechanics. I would just play this game.
Yeah, yeah.
But
just to see
then-
how it turns out.
Yeah, but then they add in, oh, it's Pokemon. You're like, oh, I like that. And guns. Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And you can be a monstrous villain. What is going on?
Yeah, that looked amazing. It looked so good. And it was kind of funny because during the trailer, I was looking at some of the monsters and I was just pointing out the Pokemon that it is clearly
Yeah.
inspired by.
Yeah, because you were just like, well, that's Flareon, but water.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
that's a bad example because that's just Vaporeon.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like Tiny Raichu.
Yeah, I was like Tiny Raichu. There was one that was just clearly Zorua in like a dragon-ish kind of form.
One was like
Other Gyarados.
other Gyarados. Totoro met Electabuzz.
One that looked identical to like Riolu and like Lucario.
Oh, yeah. It was.
Except Egyptian themed, which is already kind of Lucario.
I kind of love how tongue-in-cheek it is that they're that close.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. But Pal World has a whole lot of like interesting mechanics where you can use your Pokemon to build stuff. You can use them to mine stuff.
Yep.
Or you can
Put them on an assembly
force
line.
them to build stuff and force them to mine stuff.
Yeah.
Which I think is going to make a very interesting dynamic because I know how I'm going to play the game. And I also learned that Tyler's a monster.
No. Mm-mm, no. Mm-mm. I'm strictly playing to show the other side
Yeah. Oh,
of the game. Yeah. Yeah. When I saw him pick up a sheep as a human shield,
God.
I was like, this game is wild.
this game has. It could just be like an amazing trailer setup, but like
could.
if they do all the stuff that's in it, it looks great
It looks so...
because it's you and your pal
Yeah.
on the front line. So like sometimes it's you guys working together. Like sometimes it's sheep with Gatling guns
Yeah.
that are setting up a line, a trench line. And other times it's you picking up a sheep and just holding it till it gets shot and then throwing it away into the dirt.
It's crazy to me how I still don't know what is going on. It's clearly just Pokemon with guns, but I don't understand how or what the story can be. There's so many tidbits that were in the trailer, like the World War I style trench with sheep on 50 BMG round machine guns, or the big electric. What was he called? The big tough bear looking thing.
Oh, I called him Electabuzz Totoro.
Totoro, that was
Yeah.
it. Totoro, but electric, holding a Gatling gun, or like the weird water dragon thing with the missiles, just laying waste to hundreds of these things.
I think it might be it was referred to as like an open world, like a sandbox game.
Yeah,
So it might not really have like your point might be, do whatever you want.
yeah, which sounds amazing.
Yeah,
like
you want to conquer the world? Do it.
do it. Yep,
Do it your own way.
Just want to have a nice little farm where you treat everything with respect. Go for it.
That's gonna make me so upset when they're like, oh yeah, we can do multiplayer, and then Tyler invades me.
Yeah, I will too. I will without hesitation.
We're like the opening scene from Inglourious Basterds. You just come in and drink my milk,
Yeah.
kill all my people.
Oh man. But I think it looks amazing for a game that I didn't know existed 20 minutes ago.
Like graphically, it looks very good.
It looks a bit Fortnite-y to me, which is concerning, but that's also easy graphics.
Yeah.
So,
I would rather take a more like that style of graphic because it looks crisp. Like
Yeah.
Pokemon, you can admit, has stuttering, has issues.
yeah.
This looks crispy. Like
Yeah.
this looks like they knew they had the technology at hand and fixed it up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
but-
looks really good. I will say my only reservation is there has not been any like actual gameplay.
Yeah. There's just been gameplay without like a HUD or anything like that.
Yeah. So we'll see what it is in the long run, but I think that game could be really, really good.
Yeah.
And I think it could be really, really bad if it pulls off real bad.
When's it supposed to come out? Or is it not announced
It's
yet?
not announced specifically, but this year. I think it was supposed to be last year, but you know how that goes.
Yeah, always.
But what about you? What are you looking forward to?
So for me, it's coming out very soon, like in a couple weeks from when this episode is going to be releasing, is Fire Emblem Engage.
Ooh, yeah, as also known as Fire Emblem Get Married.
Yeah, Fire Emblem Get Married.
Fire Emblem Hitched.
So there's a lot of back and forth. A lot of people are skeptically worried because they're kind of moving away from what Fire Emblem's formula is. And they've kind of been doing that since Awakening. I know you don't know much.
I
about
know
Fire-
everything you've told me.
Oh, okay. So Fire Emblem was very much there are these characters in this story. They are within the same universe, but they're pretty disconnected. Like it's hard to just place a Fire Emblem game. It's a lot like Zelda. Like where does this line up?
Okay.
There's reoccurring characters like Tiki that are like dragons that live a long time, very loosely together. You might get a descendant of somebody. They keep it ambiguous for a reason.
Okay.
Three Houses and Awakening were very much off the main plot because it was a lot of alternate timelines and stuff like that. Fire Emblem just had an A to B story. These were the first games where it's like your decisions somewhat matter.
Okay.
Like in Three Houses, depending on the house that you pick, changes the entire outcome of the game. Because like if you chose red, then you are actually one of the first times ever the aggressors
Ooh.
of the series. If you're blue, you're like the very traditional Fire Emblem story, and yellow was like a weird hybrid. You got little pieces of everything. But Three Houses was my favorite. So I kind of like getting away from the formula, especially how they did it. Engage is a whole new different level. Like it takes place supposedly super far in the future, where kind of none of the other ones particularly matter. They're all legends.
Okay.
Kind of like what Breath of the Wild did with Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I meant to say The Legend of Zelda
Yeah.
with Breath of the Wild, where it takes place super far in the future. There is this ancient myth of a dragon that every time it comes back, you summon your ancestors to fight with you, which is why there's the all-new cast like usual, but you can summon like Marth or Byleth from the previous game, or Crom, or
I love how they're almost names.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Marth or Violets or Skims.
Yeah, right. Schubels. Like,
Yeah.
so
Have you met Cart?
yeah, this is a 30th anniversary game.
Okay.
So they haven't officially announced whether it's canon, but speculation is no.
Okay.
But it's introducing a new mechanic, which is the summoning previous characters. So if you are new to Fire Emblem, like brand new, might miss the mark a little bit other than the new characters and just that they're all fun games. But if you're like a legacy player that's been playing for a long time, even if you don't really like the new characters in this one, you're still going to be able to get, characters from games that you've played. So I think if they work that mechanic out, it looks better than any other Fire Emblem game.
Good.
Like the animations for battling and like field layout and stuff like that looks amazing. Looks more fully fledged fights rather than I click on this thing, because it's kind of like chess and then they hit, and then they separate.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It actually looks like a bit of a tussle every time. So I think if they hone in this new mechanic and don't just go 100% towards fan service, I think it has the potential to be one of the best, because I think Three Houses was the best so far.
And by fan service, do you just mean like titties?
No, by fan service, I mean, look, the game's dog shit, but look, Marth.
Okay.
We got Marth,
I get what
and
you're
we
saying.
got Tiki, and we got
Yeah.
Byleth, your favorite character. It's in it. It's in this one. Like
We
that.
got them.
Yeah. So that's what I'm hoping. But I think it looks really good. And I'll be able to report whether I think it's good in a couple weeks because I pre-ordered it.
Come on, no.
Hand the DLC.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's, I don't know. It's such as I get it with pre-ordering stuff. I think
Fire Emblem's one of the last ones that I still pre-order because I trust them. They haven't let me down. I know a lot of people were wishy-washy on Awakening and Three Houses. Loved both of them.
Hey, there you go. That's good though. All right, I'm glad you're getting yours.
Yeah. We had a wishy-washy one on here that we were kind of hopefully
There's a
optimistic about.
Couple wishy-washy ones.
Yeah.
Like as much as I was saying like Power World is good, it's technically on the wishy-washy. I'm just very hyped about the idea.
Yeah.
But there's a handful that are coming out that are might be good, might be bad. The Redfall is a open world vampire shoot 'em up.
Okay.
I know very little about it.
But the concept sounds
Concept sounds great.
Yeah.
But it's like a lot of stuff like that. We're going to be kind of discussing things that we're worried about later.
Yeah.
But another game that's kind of a sleeper one that I kind of just doing some casual research I saw looks great because like Armor Core 6 looks great. Baldur's Gate 3. It's got the early access, but it's like deep enough that it's basically playing the game.
Kind of, yeah. I think it's the first 20 hours of the game, but the game is so long.
I got to start
It is
playing it.
a hundreds
just to
of
get-
hours game.
Oh no, I shouldn't have bought it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
it's
much.
fun. It's a lot of fun.
I like it because it feels very like solo D&D.
Yeah, and we know the gameplay is gonna be good. Like we've played it. We even in the beta, the gameplay is solid.
Yeah.
So it's just whether the story is gonna be able to round itself out in a reasonable fashion.
But yeah, so Redfall looks wishy-washy. That's kind of all I got on it. I hope it's good. I like the idea, the genre of it. I'm a big fan of like werewolf and vampire. I'm a fan of shooting vampires. I don't want to be one.
Yeah. Okay.
Be a werewolf, kill a vampire.
Yeah. I think it depends on the type, because there's a lot of different types of vampires and werewolves and stuff like that. If you can live a relatively normal life, then vampire, I think, all the way.
No, I want werewolf.
You want werewolf?
Yeah, I don't want to drink blood, burst in the sun. I'd rather just be like, I'll get big every now and again.
I don't know.
Arr.
The way I see it, if I'm
I
a
can
vampire,
grow a beard.
Yeah. That's it. There it is. The truth comes out.
I can
It's like
do it.
at least part of the time I've got hair.
Oh, I forgot to put Rogaine on this morning. Shit.
Yeah. But no, I don't know. If I'm a vampire, I at least don't have to feel bad anymore about drinking blood.
Hey, why is the doors locked from the outside?
I don't know.
Don't worry about it. Are there any games coming out that you're like, it could be good, could be bad? Because we're gonna start dunking in here in a minute.
Yeah, I'm very optimistic about Resident Evil 4. I've talked about it before. Mm-hmm. I think they're making all the right moves. It's just whether they can land the plane.
Yeah.
And with their history of Resident Evil 2 and 3 being shorter than I would like, but still a good game, I think they can land it. I'm just there's a little piece of me that's like they could buff it up. And it's my favorite Resident Evil, so very cautious.
I guess in the wishy-washy category for me, Alan Wake 2, it just took too long for them to turn it around. So that could be good, could be bad.
And not very many people played the first one.
It was like a cult classic.
It was a very limited release that kind of caught the tail end of a generation, and just not many people got into it.
Yeah.
So I hope it does well. I watched a playthrough of it. Very cool. Incredibly cool game.
Yeah. But then here's one that might surprise you, because Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'm on the wishy-washy on it.
Yeah.
Because I already paid $60 for the remake.
For the first third.
For the first third. And it's not even the part of the game I wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted to go in the open world and just run around and do stuff. So
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII, you're on my wishy-washy list. Should have been one game. I know that sounds like I'm being greedy, but I am.
I mean, I was going to get Final Fantasy VII, but then they said that it wasn't the full game. And then I realized, they're going to eventually release a full, all of them bundle.
Yeah.
So I'm going to wait for that because I already know Final Fantasy VII because I've played Final Fantasy VII. With that being said, Final Fantasy 15, I adored that game. So I'm looking forward to Final Fantasy 16 as well.
Which is coming out this year.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that's going to do it for us on the upcoming good games.
Let us know if we missed one of your favorites, because this is just what was on our radar.
Yeah, there's we missed Power World. Like I knew about it and I forgot about it and then remembered it. So let us know what your games that you're getting hyped for. And then we're going to come back, and then we're also going to talk about what games we are not excited for.
Yeah, things that are rough, and we're going to dunk on them.
Oh, welcome back, everybody. We are going to go ahead here and get our dunk on.
Yeah.
We got a lot of games coming out in 2023, and some of them are going to be bummy bad ones, and we're here to talk about it. I know we kind of talked about one earlier, but there's more news, and you know more about that one, right, Tyler?
Yeah, so Hogwarts Legacy. The news kind of is just a big petition to not buy it. When we first looked at it, it was pretty early in what we were getting with the trailers, and it looked optimistic in the fact that it gave you options. But what people are kind of thinking now is that the options are kind of shallow.
Yeah.
They don't really matter.
The illusion of choice.
Yes, the illusion of choice, very much so. I kind of felt that way with Borderlands 3, if I'm being honest. Like, they kind of watered down a lot of the choices for the skill trees. You know?
Yeah.
It wasn't as good as 2. Is
No.
basically what I'm
Two
saying. Borderlands 3,
go.
still very fun, but it felt more like a watered down 2 expanded out in different ways.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are going to think, I think a big reason it's going to like fail is because of this petition. Nobody likes, I can't even remember what her name is.
J.K. Rowling.
Yeah. Like
She's doing a really good job about, like, she knows she's going to get backlash, but she keeps saying things which makes more of her fans get turned away.
Right. But people love the universe so much they still get the stuff.
Yeah.
But now there's this huge petition. Seems like it's going to be more of an illusion of choice where it's going to be like buffs and stuff, but it's not like it's going to change anything. You're still just going to go through an A to B story.
It's not like in Pal World where you can either, love them or enslave them.
Right, yeah. So I switched that one from optimistic to more pessimistic about it.
Like, what would the choices be? You going to be a Death Eater?
Right, yeah. Right. Well, the original trailers was like, hey, you can either be a traditional spellcaster like what you see in the movies, or you could be the student that focused on potion making. So yeah, you could do an entire mission with like potions and sneaking and this and that.
Oh, okay.
Or traditional just fighting and stuff. Seems like it's going to be a bit of a wash. My biggest optimistic push for this game is that if it really is this expansive open world, really just get you into the world of Hogwarts, I was hoping other IPs would pick up on this and we get like a Lord of the Rings one. We get Star Wars. We get some other universe that I actually like.
Well, Lord of the
There's no
Rings
offense to Hogwarts and Harry Potter. I just never liked Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's fine. You were all entitled to choices. I enjoyed it just fine. Didn't get all the way through.
No.
But Lord of the Rings actually had a couple of really good games. So it's nice that they've had their shine. Like, people are picking out what's good about it and they run with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Hogwarts Legacy looks like it's going to be
More
fine.
of a wash.
Yeah. Not as good as the hype train it was.
Correct.
There's a couple of games coming out that are just like, oof, that is not like RoboCop is getting a game.
Yeah, which nobody asked for.
Which that was
Nobody.
Even the I think the game designers were making the game and wait, what are we doing?
Yeah, right. They were like, I'm just programming a shooter, and this is for RoboCop.
RoboCop.
I mean, that's a good movie. I like RoboCop.
Yeah, I guess we're doing that, I guess, huh?
Yeah, nobody's asking for a RoboCop game.
It's an interesting IP to pick.
Yeah,
because yes, he was a cop doing the good things, but wasn't he just a literal puppet the whole time?
Absolutely. RoboCop's one of those weird things where it feels more of like a time capsule-y thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I loved RoboCop. As a kid, it was so cool.
Yeah, Red Foreman was a good villain.
Yeah.
He's like, I kind of got hair. I'm like, I resonate with you.
Yeah. But I think when it comes to a game now, it's just going to be a cash grab on the IP. And who's it for?
Yeah, that's the question. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
There are older gamers, but it's not as prevalent.
Right. Unless a trailer comes out that's just a banger. I don't know.
It's the weird thing is it's not a high budget, like high octane thing. It's a cop coming in with a gun that will just wreck your shit. And he's like, hey, stop it. And then he fights 2 robots.
Yeah.
Like, it's very anti-fascist, which is good.
Yeah, always.
I don't know if that's a hot take. But
Yeah, right. Whoa.
Whoa. You guys see Kanye's new logo? All right. But it's like, it's anti-fascist, which is good. But it's also, he's a slower paced character.
Yeah.
Just because of the aspects of the filming at the time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's going to translate very well at all.
I don't think so either. I know that there's been adaptations and like comics and things expanding on RoboCop. They could probably draw some pretty cool, good inspiration.
Yeah.
I just don't know who this game is going to be for. I don't think it's going to have the budget to make it what it needs to be. Because let's be honest, shooters are now the new low budget, easy, crank it out. Shooters are like the horror genre for video games. It's the easiest thing to just pump something out.
Yeah.
So I think it's just going to be a lost in the ocean of video games.
Yeah. And I got personal beef with RoboCop anyways. I went to go see the statue in Detroit, and then they're like, oh, it's in Wisconsin. Why is it there?
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense. I didn't even know there was a statue.
There was a big to-do, and it got shuffled around a couple of times. Then the last thing I could find was like not an address, but it was just like, it's now housed in Wisconsin.
Good luck.
Yeah, all right.
That's funny.
Maybe that's the game. Is a AR augmented reality of finding RoboCop.
That wouldn't be too bad.
Could be fun.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Pokemon Go's getting stale, right?
Yeah. Well, now we're gonna have Pal World, but it just takes you to like Southside Chicago.
Oh no, that'd be so bad. Use your buddy and shoot up this car. Whoa, no.
Whoa.
Oh man,
You don't give no fucks.
Yeah, none. All right, and then what was the next?
Avatars on that list.
Are we just?
Do you want to? Yeah, you want to take the lead on this one?
So many people around us have liked this movie. A couple people have agreed with, like our buddy Josh that we were talking about last episode.
Yeah.
But are we just? Because I don't have any drive for this franchise at all.
Deep down, I don't. My thing is like I'm ambiguous, ambivalent to it. I don't really care. If you like it, run wild, love it.
100%.
Am I gonna have fun talking mad shit about it?
Yeah.
Yes, that's gonna be that. I like that more than the movie.
Yeah.
Like I saw the first one and I was like, oh, this is fine. I've just seen this story 100 times and they're blue. That's okay.
Yeah, and I don't want to play this game and then forget about it, and then in 12 years when they make a sequel game, pretend like I still care about this thing.
Yeah, but it's Ubisoft. It's Ubi. Here's the negative points to it. It's Ubisoft. It's coming off the heels of like the new announcement and the new movie. And it's going to be in that shuffle, so it's going to sell a ton of copies.
Yeah,
it does not have to be good.
It doesn't have to be, and I guess I just don't know enough about it. Particularly, they haven't announced a lot about it.
Not really.
Is it supplementary
this year? What do you mean supplementary? Like to the story?
To the story? Is it going to be its own thing? Is it going to be just a rehash?
Do you think they have thought that out?
No.
They're like, well, we'll see what happens with this.
Yeah. No, it's like, hey, this series makes a lot of money. Yeah, we'll make a game.
I legitimately think it's just that.
100%.
I don't think it's going to be a tie-in because that would have to have a bigger announcement and would theoretically take away from hype of the movies.
Yeah.
So,
no, it's probably going to be one of those cash grabby movie games where it's like, oh, we took like 5 highlights from this movie and you just kind of play it out.
Yep.
God,
I hate those.
Yeah, me too. And it happens so much. I think the only game that did it kind of well was, do you remember the 2005 King Kong movie?
Yeah. Oh, that game was fun.
That game was great.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was just selecting chapters, which was just a segment of the movie. But oh my God, it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. You played Big Monster.
You play a big monster? Oh yeah, you did, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because like half the chapters you were King Kong and half the chapters you were, oh, what's that guy's name?
Jack Black.
No, you weren't Jack Black's character. I think the actor was Adrian Brody.
Oh, Adrian Brody, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was also right when Xbox 360 came out.
Yeah.
Right? So the graphics were
rough.
Mind-blowing at the time.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of going to wrap it out for the Dunk Fest. We do have, I want to do one quick shout out to the Wolf Among Us 2.
Yeah.
Which you were telling me about it.
Very excited.
So that got announced. That's very exciting.
That's speculated for 2023. So we'll see.
Okay.
I hope so. If not, something to talk about for 2024.
That's fair. And then I think the Dunkmeister of them all, Diablo 4.
Yeah, we're going to finish out on Diablo 4.
I want to know if it's going to follow in the theme of Diablo Immortal.
Yeah, public service announcement. Fuck Blizzard. Not fans here at Nerd News.
Yeah, it is. They've done some bad.
Yeah, I don't understand how anybody's going to get this game.
It's because people love Diablo 2.
Yes.
I played 3 a bunch. It was fine. Killed a lot of time for me.
Yeah, 3 was fine. It was a game.
Yeah.
I played it. I made it like a third of the way through the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
It was okay.
Yeah, the campaign was nothing special.
Yeah.
I liked it was grindy, which I enjoy because it's like I too much choice, I panic and I don't know what to do. I'll miss something. But if I can sit down and just monster some stuff. That's fine.
I don't, especially with Immortal and everything that's going on with Blizzard, I genuinely don't understand what is keeping people going with Diablo. Because now, more than ever, it's time to just not get this one and make a statement. Mm-hmm. You know?
Well, and I don't think they've produced a good game lately. Mm-mm. Like, Overwatch 2 was not great.
Yep.
Yeah, like everything they're doing is so fraught with issue.
Yeah, and their formula now isn't good game. It is repeatable game.
Yeah.
Like, you don't play Overwatch. Let me rephrase that. There are people that love Overwatch. Mm-hmm. It's a game that kind of created a lore around it with like the trailers and the story, and there's characters that people can attach themselves to and like.
Yeah.
The game,
very blank slate.
Yes. That is their new formula, is blank slate, repeatable 5-minute matches or 10-minute trials or 5-minute raids, or it's just they have capitalized on bop, 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 match, bop, 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 match. You could do this for hundreds of hours. How much is it going to change? Little. But you like this formula.
Yeah.
It doesn't require any growth as an industry. It doesn't require any innovation. It's just cranking out the next cash cow.
Yep.
And I think after Immortal, I really hope people have had enough. I really do.
Hoping so. And then one last thing, Suicide Squad, please fix the Harley Quinn voice actress.
Yeah.
Other than that, we got a lot of really cool things coming up. We got a February 3rd comic book show up at Circle City Comics. It's going to be about an hour of stand-up with, I believe I'm headlining, right?
I think so.
Yeah. If you liked me on the podcast, I'm better at stand-up.
Wink.
Wink. But no, it's gonna be great. It's for the new Phyrexia. All will be one pre-release. Or for the release party, it's coming out. You buy a ticket, you get a free pack. You don't want your pack, you give it to me
or me.
And I just found out whoever gets the most packs is voted the favorite.
Yeah, the Nerd News favorite.
So vote with your indifferent wallets.
I have invited 20 friends.
Sweet, I'm gonna get 20 packs.
And I've paid 15 people to show up and not talk to Tyson. So
hey, I've had a birthday party before.
But so we are very excited about that. Come see, both of us will be performing. We'll also have Dyke Michaels there and Brian Petrie.
It's gonna be a great time.
And we also have another exciting show that might be sold out soon.
Yeah, it might be sold out. At this moment, it is less than 15 tickets. So come get tickets to Monster. It's a live D&D podcast brought to you by this podcast, or live D&D show brought to you by this podcast.
There we go. Yep.
But yep, come on. It's going to sell out. It's a White Rabbit, January 18th.
So check it out. Thank you all so much, and we'll catch you next week.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. See you next week. Thank you so much for checking out Nerd News. We don't have advertising, so you are the advertising. Now, if you liked it, go ahead and tell a friend, like, comment, share, subscribe, or even leave a review on Apple. Every little bit helps. It's insane. You guys have no idea how much your support means to us. And if you want to do a little bit more, we have launched our Patreon. So if you would support us financially, go check out our Patreon. All our content is free, but we do have rewards at every tier. So I just want to say thank you all again, and we'll see you next time.